Hey folks, JD here, and today we're going to be looking at the JJRC X6 Aircus again. These are my final thoughts on this particular quadcopter, see exactly what I think. First of all, let's start off for a change on the transmitter. So we're going to move the quadcopter to one side and we're going to talk about this bad boy first. So this transmitter, I got on with it really well. There are a couple of things I want to change. I'll come on to that in a minute. First thing, I love this telemetry screen. My God, that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful telemetry screen. Really is so nice. Look how much they've managed to cram inside there. Your speed, your satellites, your, let me have a look. So battery speed, return to home, your height, your distance, every single thing you could ever want inside any telemetry screen is inside there, and it's beautifully attached just there. It's just so nice. I really like that. I've been geeking out about that for quite a while, and you know what, I don't care. I think that is brilliant. I really do. I like the little ones that MJX have. This one, that just blew my mind. It's very, very nice. So overall, very nice weight. You've got these little sort of kinks in the back here just for your hands to fit in, really quite nice. It does exactly what it says in the tin. It's a very, very nice and responsive transmitter with nice resolution on the sticks as well. That responds to some really gentle and nice smooth controls on the quad. Now, what I'd like to see changed. So let's start off. One, FPV boom. So I lost the screw in here, so I had to end up just holding it in with a little bit of glue. Now that glue has eventually come away as I've been moving this back and forth in my bag. It's not the end of the world, but I would like to see something a little bit better. Also, when you attach it, it's not straight. Again, it's not the end of the world, but it just annoys me. I mean, why not make that straight? I mean, take off a couple of mil from here off the plastic and actually make it straight. It's not the end of the world. It's just something that I would really quite like to see. FPV boom feels a little bit fragile, but it did hold my iPhone 8 in there without any problem. You can still collapse it, no issues. The biggest issue I think on this transmitter is this. So here, let me turn this around so you can actually read it properly. Here, this is where you've got your centralized controls, right? So you've got your on and off button here for your transmitter. That's very self-explanatory. These icons, first of all, I found a little bit disturbing. No, not disturbing, but a little bit confusing. That's the correct word. Now, I would have assumed this house here is return to home, right? And that would have been altitude hold mode for indoors. Wrong. That's altitude hold mode. That's return to home. So returning to home, you shift the transmitter that way, you shift the button that way. Look how close it is to the on and off button. I mean, there were times where I was flying and I was just like, oh, there we are, almost there. And, you know, luckily you're shifting the button to the right, which is, you know, they've thought about that in a little way. It's not as if you've got to just turn it to the left if you were initiating return to home and accidentally hit the wrong button. But it's just something that annoyed me a little bit. I just would have quite preferred to have it, say, here, or have it somewhere else. Okay, it does give you a very clean look of the transmitter, having all the buttons up here, but I would like these two to be separated, considering you use this once in a blue moon, turning it on and turning it off, and you would use this maybe a couple of times a flight perhaps. The buttons themselves, so that's my major whinge there. The buttons themselves work very well. Speed, no problem. Headless mode, no problem. Up and down gimbal. Now I did say in the unboxing these two buttons on the right, on the left hand side here were protruding a lot more than the ones on the right. Didn't have a problem with them. It's just something I noticed. It was just cosmetic, and I don't want these to fall in. So that's just something I noticed. But this is my main whinge here. Rest of the transmitter works very, very well. Oh, I would like there as well to be able to see when I'm turning on and off the video. I'd like to see something relay on the telemetry screen. I couldn't notice anything flashing, like a little like a little camera or anything. I found it very strange. Likewise, when you're recording videos, no different light flashes on the quadcopter, so it's not as if you can even say, you can even look at the camera and think, oh, do you know what, I'm recording video, let me just stop that. So yeah, that's a little bit crazy as well. I didn't really like that. Now on to the bad boy, which is this. Very, very, very impressed. I didn't know if I was going to be. I thought, all right, okay, here's another clone drone of the Phantom 4, yay. And with a gimbal that isn't really going to do a lot, yay. That has to have an up to 32 gigabyte capacity SD card. That just initially screamed old technology that I just wasn't going to enjoy. They've merged it together very, very nicely. I think this works superbly well. I really, really do. Nice motors in here. Again, like MJX, JJRC have looked at the motors and thought, right, okay, how heavy is the quad? The quad is X amount. Okay, then we don't need to go crazy with the motors. We just need X motors which are going to power this beautifully. Now it does, if you throttle, same as any quadcopter, if you throttle 100 back, 100 back, 100 back, you're going to notice this being jerky because you're engaging the motors, then disengaging, engaging, disengaging. If you take your time like I did, you will have a beautifully smooth flight. Now I was moving about 30% and I was noticing this quad was able to pick up and fly through a 4-mile-an-hour breeze without there being any problem. The quad itself is nice, the shape is nice, it's not too big either, it fits in my bag. Thank you JJRC for making a nice size quad. Yes, it's over the 250 gram mark, but it's a nice size quad. Now, my biggest bugbear comes with this down here. So let me just disengage this and then I'll show you. Which way does it go again? Is it one way more than t'other? Come on, watch me snap this now live on camera. There we go, that's it. So, let's talk about this, which is, I think, what everybody wants to know about. So, first of all, my initial reactions were, oh, they've attached a Fisher-Price camera to a little gimbal. Well, the camera itself actually yielded quite nice video. Now, the 2-axis gimbal didn't actually give you a very still picture. It gave you a little bit of jello. Now, obviously, with these motors being brushless, you're going to have a very nice smooth flight. So you're not going to have as much vibration vibrating its way down into the center column of the quad, and thus vibrating the camera like you do with brushed quads and coreless quads. So you do have a little bit of suppression there anyway, so that's not the end of the world. That works quite nicely. Now, what I would have liked to have seen is maybe this come, because you have the gimbal attachment inside here, which you can move around, so that in itself is obviously cushioned. But I would like to have seen a second cushion here maybe, because I did notice that there was quite a bit of vibration on the camera, on the video. But my biggest bugbear with this is that when the quad is straight, the camera likes to keep itself at a slight angle. Maybe it's just a small calibration issue. Maybe it's something that I can do. It's not something that I've actually seen in the camera, and there's no buttons on here whatsoever that I can click to reset. So what I did in that instance, you probably saw me in the flight test, just moving the camera like that. And then the camera would stay nice and straight. But the camera worked well. I had quite some very, very nice video from it. Video I wasn't expecting, actually. Wasn't that noisy. It was a bit washed out, but wasn't that noisy. I thought overall it was okay. But obviously you can see more of what my thoughts are on that in the video and photo analysis I did a couple of days ago. Again, you can find the link to that in the description should you want to watch it. Overall, I was quite impressed with this. I think as a nice little segue into like a video photo world, JJRC have actually made quite a nice little effort into what they've actually done here. Yes, it could always be better, but to be honest, it's not bad. I was quite impressed with it. SD card slot on the side, that is a nightmare for getting your SD cards in and out, so I had to resort to using long nose pliers just to pull the card out. Again, a nightmare, but again, these are just small niggles. Now, I actually found that I lost FPV relay at about 45 meters off to the right in the unboxing and the flight test. But I did find that at 200 meters, 210 meters, which is the full length that I took this quad, I did find that it was relaying without any problem. So make of that what you will. I was quite impressed with it. I thought it was overall pretty good. Now, for the price of this quad, you are going to be paying, I mean, the three. Fortunately, as I say, I was given this by Banggood, so thank you again, Banggood. But what I will say is if you are going to be buying this, I had the 3 battery version that will retail in the UK at the time of making this video of £247. To be perfectly honest with you, if I was going to be paying that much for a quad, I would much rather buy the Hubsan Xeno. You get longer battery life, you get a much nicer camera, much nicer gimbal, it works a bit more fluidly. But if you are particularly after one of these quads, I don't think you can go far wrong. All of the features worked for me. Follow me, waypoints, everything worked. I couldn't believe it. Just out of the box with my iPhone 8, no problem whatsoever. The only thing I would say was a bit different, the battery life is rated on paper. Now, we all know paper's not, the specifications on paper are not always true. I'm going to say that. What I did notice is the batteries were they said they were going to be 20 to 25 minutes. I was having 16 minutes out of each battery, and it was continuous, 16, 16, 16. It's not as if one was giving me 15, one was giving me 18. They were all 16 minutes, but that was only after one charge. Now, charging did take 3.5 to 4 hours per battery. So I've now drained all these. I'm intrigued to see exactly how far it's going to take, how long it's going to take to charge all these back up. And my other bugbear, just before we break, I would have liked to have seen a balance charger for these batteries. Please include one in the future, and not that micro USB nonsense in the side for a high capacity battery such as this. Lower capacity batteries, that is fine. For something like this that takes 5 hours, give us a balance charger. Let's make sure all the cells are properly charged and your quad or your RC vehicle isn't going to fall out the sky. Now, that being said, I love this. I'm going to take this out more. I'm probably going to ram this down your throat, folks. I'm very sorry about that. I just think it's a cracking quad, and I can't wait to fly her again next time. All right then, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this has helped, and I hope this has given you some clarity if you needed it. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.